I'm going to describe an application called Chess Speak. This program provides a voice interface to a chess engine. It's free, it runs under Windows 7, and you can download it from my website given here. The idea of this program is that you can set up a regular chessboard and pieces across the room from your computer, play against the computer without having to enter your moves into the computer, but only by speaking to the computer and by receiving the engine's move verbally from your computer speakers. To get this application, go to my home page, which is shown here. Scroll down to the bottom and you'll see downloads, and the download you want is called ChessSpeak version 1.1.zip. Just download this file using this arrow over here to your computer, unzip it in any folder you wish, and then you can click on the executable, which is called playchess.exe. To uninstall the program, it's very simple. Just delete the folder that you placed it in. The application does not update the registry or any other files on your computer. Here is the opening screen for Chess Speak. It has a graphical user interface like any other chess program, and you can move the pieces on the board using the mouse if you wish. I'll not go over everything that this program does in terms of parameters, but you can find a user's guide. It's also on my website. I will mention the parameter that's probably the most important, which is the chess engine. This comes with a chess engine called Stockfish. When you download the program, you'll get this engine. But the parameters you're interested in are the time and the ply that you give the engine. This is in milliseconds, so this indicates we're going to give the chess engine 1 second for each of its moves, and it's going to search to a depth of 20 ply, which is 10 moves for each side. This is a pretty good setting and gives the engine a lot of time to play an expert game. Now let me go to the input for speech. These parameters are they control the nature of the speech that you have to talk when you're addressing the chess engine. The first one here is a fen setup, and this means every time you ask for a new game, it will use this fen setup for the game. This is useful in giving the engine a handicap. You could set the engine parameters very low and expect it to play a poor game, which it will do. What I found, though, is that it plays such a poor game that it makes mistakes that no reasonable opponent would make. And yet if you set the engine parameters a little bit higher than that, it plays such a good game that you don't have much of a chance of defeating it. So I found that if you set up an initial position, giving the engine maybe 1 less pawn or 2 less pawns, maybe even a knight, and then play it at pretty good strength, then you can play a reasonable game. So that's what this is for, this lineup here, and it only takes effect if you click on this checkbox. Otherwise, it's going to set the pieces up in a normal position. The speech recognition engine is not very good at understanding letters. For that reason, I've set this up so that you have to give it phonetics for the file. And here are the ones that I've selected. You can change these, but be careful how you do that, because the speech recognition engine has to have words that are clearly different from each other. And I'll show you how you enter a move with speech in a second. There are some commands that you can give. You can say new game, which will start a new game. You can ask it to repeat, which will ask it for the previous message that was output by voice. The program will issue errors if you make a move that's illegal, for example, and you can ask it to repeat that error message. The move command just tells the engine to make a move for whoever's move it is to make. So when you start up, you're going to be playing white, but if you just issue the command move, the chess engine will make the move for white, and then you'll be playing black. If you say move again, it'll make the move for black, and now you'll be playing white. Whenever it moves, it will tell you the move that it made, and you can listen to that and make the corresponding move on your chessboard, which you've set up. Back means take back the last move. So if you make a move and perhaps the chess engine misunderstood it but made the move anyway, you can say back and it will restore the position to the previous state. At any time, if you are confused, you can go to the board window and this will be kept in sync with the game as it's actually been played. With a little bit of practice, you should not have to use this graphical interface at all, but it's there for your own reconciliation with your board. Another way to use this engine is to play a game of blindfold chess, and so because you're only speaking to the computer and receiving voice output, you can play without sight of the board and input and get moves back that way. Now I'm going to enable the speech to give you a little demo. Speech is not enabled unless you check this box. You may have ambient noise going on in your room. You may want to stop playing for a while, so check this box to both enable speech and then to turn it off. There's also a facility for testing speech, which is pretty handy to make sure that the engine can recognize your input. And I'm going to run the test speech now to show you how the engine responds when it does recognize your speech. Notice I'm going to make some mistakes and we'll get no output. When you speak a move, you have to give the home square, the square the piece is on, and then you have to give the destination square. You do not specify the piece at all. So instead of saying E4, for example, you would say echo 2, echo 4, using the phonetic for the E file. If you just say echo 2, it's not going to understand because it expects the destination square as well as the input square. So let me just show that. I'm going to click on test speech now to show you how that works. Echo 2.
Rejected.
Echo 2, echo.
Okay.
You can see here that when I just said echo 2, echo, it assumed for some reason that I really said echo 2, echo 2, which is not what you want. So you have to be a little bit careful and speak the moves correctly. Now let me give a few correct moves so you can see what's going on, and I'll switch to the board itself. I'm going to click Enable Speech, enter a few moves. The computer will make a few moves verbally. They'll be reflected in the graphical user interface. Keep in mind, though, that the main purpose of this program is for you to be playing without looking at the computer at all. So here we go. Echo 2, echo 4.
Okay. Pawn, echo 7 to echo 5.
Golf 1, Foxtrot 3.
Okay. Knight golf 8 to foxtrot 6.
Foxtrot 3, echo 5.
Okay. Pawn delta 7 to delta 6.
So I've disabled the speech, and you can see how the program operates. If you make a mistake with your move, there will be a message output verbally, and then you can correct the move. I'll show you how that works now. Bravo 1, Delta 1.
Okay. White to move, but moves destination. Has white piece.
Repeat.
Rejected.
Repeat.
Okay. White to move, but moves destination. Has white piece.
Back.
Okay.
Move.
Okay. Pawn delta 7 to delta 6.
Move.
Okay. Knight echo 5 to foxtrot 3.
New game.
Okay.
Move.
Okay. Pawn echo 2 to echo 4.
So I showed you some of the commands and showed you how you can repeat an error message and how you can force the computer to move. I hope you enjoy this program. There's more information in the user's guide. If you have any questions, if you find any bugs, please email me. My email address is on my website, and I'd appreciate suggestions, but I'd especially appreciate bug reports.